once again, I'm ever so thankful that you all could join me. We're going to be discussing today Wicca. In the Bible, you may remember the most notable actual witch, she's referred to as a witch, is the Witch of Endor at the time of King Saul. She would probably be a Wiccan today. There are several others to note, but Jezebel, I believe, would probably be a Wiccan today, as well as her husband Ahab. These were the king and queen at the time of Elijah. But Hollywood has also always had this fascination with witchcraft, and Wicca fits right in. I actually referred to, during this study, I said this is like sissy Satanism. This is like really weak Satanism. It's definite Satanism, but it's for those people in whom don't want to, get too deep into Satanism, but they do want to dabble enough so that it might work magic for them. Wicca, also termed pagan witchcraft, is a modern pagan religion. Scholars of religion categorize it as both a new religious movement and as part of the occultist stream of Western esotericism. Its creator is Gerald Gardner. Now, you may think this is a pointless refutation. You may think there's no reason to be concerned about witches. I know that, man. It's Middle Ages, dude. Don't know anything about it. According to Quartz, the U.S. witch population has seen an astronomical rise. According to the U.S. Census, the number of individuals professing to be Wiccans rose from 8,000 in 1990 to 768,400 in 2002. Authorities on contemporary American religious trends predict that Wicca soon will be the third largest religion in the United States. I have met and I have been friends with Wiccans. I know they're out there, but they keep very secret, very low. Don't want many people to know about it. But that's quite jarring to me to think that the third largest, most popular religion in America is witchcraft, and the Wicca that we know about today over here in America got started by a man named Gerald Gardner. Gardner spent much of his childhood abroad in Madeira. In 1900, he moved to colonial Ceylon, and then in 1911 to Malaya, where he worked as a civil servant, independently developing an interest in the native peoples. I'm thinking this is where his interest got picked up with the native peoples, and writing papers and a book about their magical practices. Now, in case you're wondering where that is, Malaya, over here, Malaysia. After his retirement in 1936, he traveled to Cyprus, penning the novel A Goddess Arrives, before returning to England, settling down near the New Forest. He joined an occult group, the Rosicrucian Order Crotona Fellowship, through which he said he had encountered the New Forest Coven, into which he was initiated in 1939. Believing the coven to be a survival of the pre-Christian witch cult discussed in the works of Margaret Murray, he decided to revive the faith, supplementing the coven's rituals with ideas borrowed from Freemasonry, ceremonial magic, and the writings of Aleister Crowley. I told you, many things stem from Aleister Crowley, as did influences of Wicca, to form the Gardnerian tradition of Wicca.
Gerald's passion for the occult was unwavering, and crucially, he wasn't alone. He was drawing closer to the most notorious magician in the entire world, Aleister Crowley, known as the Great Beast. Crowley was an infamous magician whose alleged black magic had earned him the title wickedest man in the world. Never far from controversy, Crowley could have a distinct dark take on the occult.
I simply went over to Satan's side. I found myself as passionately eager to serve my new master as I had been to serve the old.
Gerald knew Crowley's work and actually appropriated many of his magical writings in his early Wiccan rituals.
The media would accuse Gardner of whitewashing witchcraft and his luring of people into covens by not mentioning the ritual nudity and scourging which came with initiation. Now, not all of them practice things like scourging, and sometimes it's not to do with the initiation. Sometimes it's just a regular ritual, nudity and scourging. They vary. like all these other religions that we've studied, they vary from little sect to sect. On February 12th, 1964, he suffered a fatal heart attack at the breakfast table of a ship. Gardner was 79 years old. Only the captain attended his funeral. Here's a newspaper article at the time of his death. Britain's chief witch dies at sea. Chief witch. And here's a plaque near his, or on his tombstone. It says, the father of modern Wicca and beloved of the great goddess. Okay, so that's enough history lesson. Let's just get into what Wiccans believe. Wiccan views of divinity are generally theistic and revolve around a goddess, sometimes depicted as the old goddess, ancient goddess Diana, and a horned god, sometimes depicted as Pan. Either way, it's a goddess and a horned god, thereby being generally dualistic. A key belief in Wicca is that the gods are able to manifest in personal form, either through dreams, as physical manifestations, and very important, or through the bodies of priestesses and priests. So they believe that their gods possess their priest, and they call upon this to happen. One of their rituals is called drawing down the moon, where they do that very act. The latter kind, the priest and priestess being possessed by these gods or whatever, the latter kind of manifestation is the purpose of the ritual of drawing down the moon or drawing down the sun, whereby the goddess is called to descend into the body of the priestess or the god into the priest to effect divine possession. A little bit of info on their gods, goddesses, whatever. Wicca's goddess. Wicca is generally pantheistic. Pantheism is where there's an eminence about their deities. They believe that everything is divine. Everything is divine. This mouse, your shirt, everything is divine. Seeing nature as divine in itself. They're real big on nature. Wiccans are. Their goddess is widely believed to be the soul of
Now,
nature.
and
Everything comes from her.
Diana
Everything
is in
returns
our
to her.
Bible.
Wicca's horned god.
And Pam,
The male
I'm
horned
gonna get to
god,
Pam in a
lord of
minute.
the animals, is
But
also an important
Diana
metaphysical deity. Born
is
each
also in
year
our
at the
Bible.
winter
She also
solstice.
goes right
In
back
the
to
spring, he is the
Nimrod,
lover
and
and
she
mate
call
of the
her
goddess,
name
but
is
he
Samaritan.
dies
She got
each
many,
fall,
many
symbolized by
names.
the cold
Okay,
and dark of winter.
and
I also read other
she
things
also
about
mentioned
how
in the
he
Bible
can
as the
make
Queen
people
of
go
Heaven.
mad.
It's the
There's a
same
malevolence in him.
woman. Idolatry,
But
whore
Wiccans
also is
claim
mentioned
they
in
do
the
not
book of
worship the
Revelation.
devil.
She's a mother of whore.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
horned god,
there
but
she go
it's
again,
ancient.
flaunting
It's more
herself.
ancient than
Okay,
Christianity is what
with
they
all
say.
her
Well,
jewelry
generally
and
speaking,
all of this
Wiccans
stuff.
believe that the
She's also a
sources of good and
murderer.
evil
She's
lie within
this
each
demonic
individual.
saint. Okay,
Thus, universally agreeing with the 8 words of the Wiccan
which
Read.
she
Now
will
listen
be
to this.
destroyed.
This
Okay,
is what they go
so
by.
now
If it
going back to
harm none,
Pam, if
do
y'all
what you
think
will.
about Pam,
Here's the
think
Wiccan
about
Read
the
for yourself. This is the
Valentine's
entirety
Day.
of
You
it, I
got
believe.
Cuba, you got Pam.
By the Wiccan law,
Okay,
you must, in perfect
okay,
love and perfect trust,
love
8 words the
Jesus
Wiccan Read
has.
fulfill, and
Valentine
ye
has
harm
nothing to do
none,
with
do what you
Christianity.
will.
If you're doing that, you
Come
might
to
have to
that
think
little
twice
part right
about
there. That's very
Valentine's
evil.
on that, because that
What
leads
ye
right
send
back to
forth
Pam.
comes back to thee.
Also,
So ever
Pam
mind the
is
rule of 3.
another
Follow
way
this with
of
mind and heart.
Satan.
Marry
Okay,
ye
the
me,
same
marry ye
freaking
part.
man.
All
Okay,
right. So
the
this
same
do what
angel.
you will,
Okay,
do as
he
thou
also
wilt.
is
That goes back to
his corn
Satanist
god. They
Aleister
also,
Crowley,
if
who
you
was
look at
called the most wicked
Satanism
man
and
in the world
Lumina,
at the
all of
time of
this is
his,
just leads
when
right
he was
back.
alive.
Okay,
He was called the most wicked man in the world.
they worship this goat
Heavy
sheep
Satanist.
thing.
We will
Okay,
talk
that's
about him
Satan.
in the future,
Okay,
but for right
as
now, let's
simple as
just
that.
give his
Okay,
quote. He
all of this
says,
is just.
and this is the law of
It's
Thelema,
like he said, it's just
do
a bunch
what
of
thou wilt
witchcraft.
shall
All of
be
this
the
is
whole of the law. He
satanic,
says,
evil
love is the
darkness.
law, love under
All right,
will.
continue
He was
on.
always about do what you want, whatever you want to do. And it starts out, do what thou wilt. And the witches say, do what ye will. Very similar to me. What is Wicca's view on death? What happens after death that Wiccans believe? Wicca accepts the doctrines of reincarnation and karma, same as Hindus and Buddhists.
Okay,
Reincarnation and karma, but rejects the
fallen
idea of
angels.
original sin.
Okay, they call upon.
Not surprised there. What original sin is after Adam fell in the Garden of Eden, once that he fell, everyone that came after him, all all of us, everybody you've ever known, everybody in the past, everyone after Adam had a sin nature that was passed down to them. That's called original sin. Well, they don't believe in that. They believe that good and evil lie within each individual. You're born good, and, we'll get further. Through a series of incarnations, through reincarnation, through a series of incarnations, the spirit seeks to perfect itself by learning to live in ever-increasing accord with nature's laws. So they believe that you can get better and better and better the more you're reincarnated and all that. Witches claim to seek the good by willing the good, while those who practice black magic, or who follow the left-hand path, as they call it, have yielded control of their thoughts and actions to the flesh, that part of human nature motivated solely by the search for satisfaction of instinctual and egotistical demands. The striving for evil inherent in the instinctually ordered flesh must be controlled, they said. You must control that urge to do evil, and directed by the will in such a manner that its needs are satisfied, but not at the price of others' well-being and existence. They say, do no harm to anyone, but satisfy yourself. Yeah, it's a horned god, but it's ancient. It's more ancient than Christianity, is what they say. Well, generally speaking, Wiccans believe that. Just a little bit more info on Wiccans. Their festivals, October 31st, as we would know as Halloween, Samhain, honors the harvest, the time when the crops die
They always
become
say
food
with
for the
Satan is
winter,
different
and
from
when the
Lucifer,
veil
and it's
between
not.
worlds becomes
I'm
very
gonna just make
thin.
it clear.
They believe it's much easier to get in
same
contact with the spirit world
angel
on
from the
that
Garden of
night.
Eve that
And around
tempted
June 21st, they have the
Eve
summer solstice.
and Adam.
Is a time of
It's the
power and a time to
same
pay homage to the
serpent that God
deities of
threw
nature,
Satan
complete
out.
idol
It's the
worship. Honor
same
around September
angel.
21st,
Okay.
the fall equinox celebrates a
I don't
balance
care
between
how
light and dark,
Bill
night and day.
Kazan
It is
slice
also
and
a time to
dice.
prepare to
You're
embrace
bound to
the
end
many
up right back
mysteries
to
of the
you.
goddess as she oversees
Okay?
the winter months of cold
He
and
always
darkness.
claims one
Because
to be
remember,
worshipped.
their
But I'm
horned
gonna tell you
god dies
something.
around
He
this
is
time.
not God.
But in case you're
Alright?
wondering if it's just
Maybe say
teenagers
the man.
running under bridges and painting pentagrams and all that, in case you're wondering if that's the only group that practices witchcraft, oh no. You watch movies with these people in it. They are stars. You listen to their music. Trust me. Lana Del Rey, not too long ago, just a couple years back, 2016.
By the way, when
Lana
it
Del
says do
Rey
without
wants
will,
you to join her
did y'all
coven
just
of
heard that?
witches. They're hexing
Where that come
Donald
from?
Trump. Here's another one you
Average
might recognize.
Crowley.
Katy Perry.
You just got to
She
hear about
said,
that man.
I don't stay single for long. I carry a lot of rose quartz. It's witchcraft,
Crowley,
Wicca.
okay?
Rose quartz, which attracts the
He also
male.
said,
Maybe I
do
need
what
to
thou
calm it down
will.
with the
Other words, do
amethyst.
whatever you want.
I'm not like Professor Higgins with
Pleases
my
your
sex
God.
life.
Okay,
I'm
that's
not
what you're
super
saying,
strict.
whatever.
For me, the most
Okay,
important thing
do
about
whatever you
sex
want.
is connection. And here's
That's
another quote.
crotchety what this
Heather
is.
Graham. I'm sure
Okay,
you've
it's
seen her in a
satanic.
lot of movies. She said, I have this group of friends and we get together and we call ourselves the goddesses and we wish for things, and then a lot of amazing things have happened to all of us. We burn things, honoring the elements of earth, wind, air, and fire. You do spells. We did this thing where we were calling on the wind and the air, and this whole storm started on my roof. Sybil Shepherd, she said in a speech, thanks to the great goddess in all her guises. You know how many people thank God? Well, she's thanking the great goddess in all her guises. May she bring us peace, joy, and righteous anger. Blessed be. You've probably seen these two, Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, on their obsession with sage smudging. They say, I sage everything, all the time, constantly saging. I don't want bad energy. That's witchcraft.
So when we consecrate each other with the salt and the water, we're remembering, you're a human being in front of me, but you two are divine. Blessed be.
Now, I thought that was a lovely ritual. There's clearly more going on here than just a bunch of people having a good time in a wood. There's something quite deep.
Well, the man is absolutely right. There is something far deeper going on, and one person sees it. He sees every single thing that's going on down there, and they're worshiping these demons and devils. The most wicked woman, it's believed in the Bible as Jezebel, and she was infamous for not only having Baal, priest of Baal around, but priest of the grove, and that would be these trees. And just like Wiccans today, they would go out and sometimes they'd have a phallic symbol, kind of like a tree, and they would worship it, or then they'd go out and they'd worship trees and they'd worship nature, the mother goddess, and all these. Jezebel was famous for doing these very same things. In Deuteronomy 18, 9 through 12, God speaks on what he thinks about this kind of activity by the Wiccan community. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to
just
pass
like
through
that
the fire.
wheelbarrow. Y'all remember,
That
and
means
over there in
sacrifice of a
Hinduism,
child.
if y'all go back and
Or
listen
that
to it,
useth
in Hindu
divination,
and also in
or an observer of
not
times,
Hinduism,
or an
but in
enchanter,
Buddhism.
or a
I'm sorry.
witch, or a charmer, or a
It just
consulter
goes
with
right back
familiar
to
spirits,
Buddhism,
or a
which
wizard,
that
or a
has to do with that big
necromancer,
old giant
for
wheel
all that
around
do
it, which is
these
nothing but
things are an
witchcraft.
abomination
Okay.
unto the Lord. That's the
It tells you you have
strongest
to start
language
over,
that
you
can be
rebirth,
used for
reincarnated, and
how
you rebirth, and
disgusting
reincarnate,
that
rebirth,
it
and
is to
then
God
it just
for
goes
him to
around
see
and
this.
around
It's
and
just
around.
completely
Okay, and then to where you have to figure
gross
out you have to get out somewhere,
abomination.
and then they don't
In
believe
the
in nothing,
Hebrew, even in that
which
very
is
verse,
ridiculous.
it's Toeba. Something disgusting
And
is
then
what it
you
is.
got
God is
this around this
disgusted
big
at
old round
people like
thing. You
this.
see a
And I know
devil.
that they
Okay,
talk
simple as
about
that, a demon,
good
however you want to
witches and
call the
bad
thing.
witches.
Okay, it's
In
nothing
my
but
honest
demons.
opinion,
Ain't
Wicca
that
is
something?
the most
Don't you?
alluring
Can y'all
of
see the
all
symbolisms
witchcraft
of this? If y'all
because,
look back through some of the
oh,
videos
everybody's
I just
nice
posted
and
on the
loving and they're
Facebooks
hugging
and
and they're
stuff,
dancing
yeah,
and they're
it should
just out in the
connect.
woods and,
Every each
oh yeah, do a little
religion, it
ritual,
should
pray to a
connect.
pentagram
It
and
should
all that. But
connect. It
yeah,
should
it's
hit you
for the most part,
enough that
it
I
seems
don't
like
care
an
how
easy form of
much they
Satanism.
believe
Is all that it
differently.
is. That's
It
truly
always
the way
lead
I would
back to the
define it. It's
same
just easy
points,
Satanism.
okay?
It's
They
the most dangerous. I guarantee
practically
you that in
believe in the
Hollywood,
same
probably about
God, which is the God of this
90% of
world,
people in
okay?
Hollywood are Wiccans and not outright
All they
Satanists. The
praying,
others
I
are
don't care
probably
what you do,
Satanists.
you bend your knees to Mary
but
or
yeah,
idols,
these
whatever, you're
are
worshiping
everywhere
demons,
nowadays. But
okay?
do
You're
pray for
worshiping
them.
whatever,
Just like every
okay? They're
other
nothing but
religion that
fallen
we've went
angels.
over,
Um,
they
just
need our
a little
prayers.
bit of a note.
These people are heavily deceived. They believe that it's all love and nice. And it's demonic to the core. Pray for them. God of peace be with you all. Amen. Of human nature motivated solely by the search for satisfaction of instinctual and egotistical demands.
It's a process. I hope that y'all learned something, and I hope that you can able to share if you on YouTube video, and I hope that you're able to like my channel. And it's very important to share this information. If you're a Christian and you're watching this, please do not get yourself involved in this. This is nonsense. Just be careful and pray for them, and hopefully hopefully they would come to know the Lord Jesus, because it's very important. This world is getting darker and darker each year. All right, God bless.